All right,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Checkpoint.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Checkpoint
been a little while.
podcast. Too long, way too long. A month
Yeah,
for us.
I mean-
2 weeks for you guys. It's nothing. It's not as bad. Today's topic, mental health. And so the way I want to start these topics is first we want to build a layout, right? And this gives an interactive portion for the viewer as well, the listener, whoever it may be, to be able to just put in the comments, hey, I want to be able to, talk about this in regards to mental health, right?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, so like let's say we give a good amount of, concepts that fall within the mental health margin, right? What if, let's say this viewer who wants to look into therapy, right? He's like, hey, can you talk about more in depth on therapy, and we can come in next time whenever we run back with mental health. We research a little bit more and we have just a little more to talk about in that certain topic and kind of break it down bit by bit. Like mental health for adults to students to children varies so much. And so it's going to be difficult to just talk about one certain thing and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And so this will give us the opportunity to talk about several different topics and then progress from there.
And then we may introduce a new segment later into the episode.
We may or may not, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay tuned.
All right. So mental health. What would you consider, what's your definition of mental health? And then we'll pickpocket from there.
Yeah, let me think about this one.
Okay.
I think mental health stems from appreciating what you have.
Okay. Gratitude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the question was pretty vague, but let's dive deeper into that, right? So gratitude. One, we're conscious human beings, right? We're able to, walk, talk, speak, listen. We have the five senses and we're able to, live and roam in this world and the society that we're living in. Just the fact that we're alive is a blessing in itself, right? And I like how you're immediately thinking positively. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's depression, it's anxiety.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
And that's a healthy thing. That the good thing is that you view mental health that way. And I agree.
Yeah, I always come from it from a positive perspective.
And to really view mental health in a positive lens, you have to be exposed to the negative of it. You know what I mean? And so
that's the only way you can truly find the positive mindset shift when it comes to mental health.
I agree. So let's dive a little deeper and let's see how mental health has affected us growing up and then now. So let's say as kids, right, growing up, we're kind of in a position of vulnerability, of course, and we're learning. We're getting exposed to, one, the society that, has built and shaped, generations to come, and being exposed to the rules and the regulations our family has imposed and the rules that they've learned as well. And so you and I have different backgrounds. My family's Hispanic and your family has a different background as well. And so the house rules and just the societal roles are different. You know what I mean? And in Mexico, for example, it's very big to have a macho style home. You know what I mean? Now, in the economy that we live in, it's hard to live off of one income flow rather than two, right?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, this shapes our mental, our minds. And so the morals and the values that we establish growing up are different to one another. And I have stories whenever my grandparents would come over and they'd tell me, yeah, I was, you could say a bad kid, right? But I was just very hyperactive. And I didn't like just sitting still and doing nothing. I was always seeking some kind of a dopamine high, right? And even now, now I've ventured out and figured that out. But I've also I used to fight as a kid, right? But not I wouldn't fight to the sense that it was immoral. You know what I mean? I had a reason to fight if I did at any point. My parents remind me whenever I would fight, I was a kid, and it was in let's say the inflatable houses, you know what I mean? Those big castles.
Yeah.
The big inflatable castles. Let's say I got invited to a party and some kids bullying everybody in there. Then I would step in.
Yeah.
Literally, it's just no second thought. It's hey, this guy's bullying everybody. And I just go in there and I don't care how big they are. I just go find them. But the morale is there is right from wrong. I never bullied anybody, and that wasn't that wasn't how I grew up. You know what I mean? And I had a little brother growing up as well, and so I had somebody to learn with.
Mm-hmm.
But
Or even learn from.
exactly, and again, you're kind of growing up. You're feeding off of your family, off of your parents, and everything that they're going through too.
Yeah, you mirror them.
And so there's the things that you see and that you don't see that attribute to how you grow up. And so that's why I kind of threw in what I went through as a kid. That's like a physical aspect of what I went through, right? But I mean, the medical history that your family has gone through, the addictions that have gone through your family, they all stem and kind of chain through your parents and into you. I was hyperactive. My mom had hyperactivity as well. And that's one, what's called mental health aspect that I'm throwing out there. I mean, my family comes from a long line of addictions, drinking, smoking, gambling, let's say overindulgence, eating, overeating. And so, I mean, diabetes and all these different things, they flow through generations of my family, right?
Yeah.
And these are things I didn't know until I grew up. But those traits pick up, you know what I mean, when you
they
get
keep
older.
going.
And so the older I got, the more I learned what different addictions I would spread into, right? And so
Well, families like pick up habits and they maintain habits, and then their kids don't even realize that it's their parents that a negative habit, and then they're kind of rubbing it off onto their kids. But the kids aren't aware of it. They just think it's normal, or like this is what we always do. So then that trails into a bad negative habit that they're going to pass down to their family, unless they become aware of it.
Agreed. And like I can speak about me and my brother's situation, for example. I'm very vocal, and my brother's the opposite. He's very to himself. He doesn't, only with people he trusts does he speak with, right? And so those are same family, just different age gaps and different, how do I say it? That just proves that even if we're from the same family, from the same tree, we can still grow as different apples, for example. We can grow as different people because of what we are exposed to, what we go through.
Absolutely.
And so diving deeper into mental health, I think we can talk about like how our past reflects our future. I think that can be a really good concept that we can dive deeper into.
And you're not trapped or held down by your past or what your family
of course
does.
not. Well, I mean, what we go through in the past as children, yes, some of it does transcend, but that's why we're having this talk is like, okay, now we're trying to spread awareness to it. So past reflects our future. We're going to be able to break that down more. And so right now we're just trying to create a layout. And from that layout, we're going to dive deeper into every little section. So like gratitude for being alive. Okay, what does that mean? And then we dive deeper into it.
Yeah, I like that.
And then our past reflects our future. Okay, how? Right? What attribute of your past reflects this, right? How did, let's say, me being aggressive as a kid or hyperactive as a kid transcend to me being an adult or in college? How did that affect me through middle school, through high school? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. We can go into that.
And so there's a lot of, that's kind of what we want to establish with you guys watching, is that this is your opportunity to give an input. Is like, hey, well, I mean, I went through this growing up too, and maybe you can dive a little deeper into that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, how was abuse? You know what I mean? Growing up. Because I mean, I went through my own fair share of abuse, and I'm glad I did. I know how that sounds, but like...
Yeah, I mean, it makes you the person you are. But you have to untangle it and find the lessons that you learn throughout life.
And I can't... How do I say it? That's how my parents grew up. You know what I mean? And I can't blame them for what they were exposed to when that's all they saw. You know what I mean? And so like for me, that's why every generation is trying to improve. You know what I mean? Some are devolving, but some are trying to progress, right? And so I don't want to have my children go through that kind of a situation, you know what I mean?
It's not necessary.
Exactly. And that's like, there's not a rule book on how to be an adult or a parent, right?
Yeah, but nowadays there's so much information out there. There's no excuse to being a bad parent.
Exactly. And of course, I mean, situations and being young, they're all limiting. I understand. Everybody has a different situation. We're not judging at all. And if you have your own input, go ahead and post it in the comments. We're happy to read it. We're happy to respond. And for the next video, we'll definitely bring you up and we'll definitely talk about it. And I mean, that's all we're trying to look for is more more things to relate with, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, we're in our 20s, 21 now. Happy birthday
True.
to Jake.
I'm belated. Thank you.
Of course, of course.
Thank you.
And I can't relate to somebody's story when he's 40. I can relate to what I've lived and the age gap that I've lived in. You know what I mean? I was born in the United States, you know, lived here in Las Cruces, but I can't exactly relate to somebody in a completely different country.
Yeah, it's out of your scope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We should cut real quick before we go into the next huge organized section. Well, also I said at the beginning, like who's watching the podcast, right?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's okay.
It's because we gotta have the.
No, I know, but like, how do I say it?
We gotta be delusional.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it's not a bad thing to say that, because it's like someone in the comments can be like, "Oh, I'm watching, man. I'm watching. I'm right here." You know what I mean? Like it's not a bad thing, bro. And plus, that's one thing you said. It's not like you're throwing out racial slurs or.
But no, I'm not gonna lie. That shit, I threw myself off with that one. I was like, wait, what? Why did I say that?
It's okay,
like,
bro. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Hey, we got to bounce back.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And,
I just had to put that out there. I was like,
glad you acknowledged it too. That's a very healthy thing. And see, that's the transition to the next
acknowledgement.
And see that's a big step too, because now we want to start talking about like therapy and different concepts like that. That's why I think this is really important for us to break down during the video.
Yeah.
One, we get feedback from the viewers and whoever's watching and listening.
And we're not skipping any unspoken feelings.
Exactly. And we get to review it ourselves. So like, let's say we're going through it today. We're reading it, or we're listening to it. We're like, oh shit, you know, I kind of missed a few things here. Like now my mind's racing with all these different concepts we could have talked about. So next time we meet up and talk about this this topic, we have a list of 15 things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I mean, gratitude for being alive, past reflects our future. Those are really big things just to start. The past is so vague. You know what I mean? Because it goes into our family values, our family, like mental health is going to be like a book. And these are going to be chapters, which is going to be gratitude for being alive. Let's say that's a chapter. And from within that chapter, we're going into different topics within that chapter. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So don't overthink it, bro. We're here to have fun. We're here to kind of learn more about each other as well, because one, I grew up differently than you. You know what I mean? And you grew up differently than me. And so we have a lot to add in this aspect. Yeah. And our own spice of diversity. We're not insanely diverse, obviously. We're both from the US. These are the cards that we're being dealt. Right? Yeah. But we're able still to add value to the viewers and to ourselves.
Yeah, you know what? I think I could turn this into something positive.
I mean, you already did, bro. Gratitude for being alive. I mean, you could have said depression and sorrow, bro, like right off the bat.
No, well, look, right now, because I'll just be honest, right? Like right now, my morning has not been going ideal. You know, like we were just like a little bit late. Yeah, you know, I didn't eat breakfast. I'm like, I'm obviously a little bit unprepared for this one.
It's okay, bro.
But yeah, that's why we have to air it out. And then also, I forgot my tripod. You know, I might start getting in my head about it.
It's okay,
all
bro.
These little things. Yeah, everything's gonna be okay.
Dude, remember our first setup, bro?
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah, there was bookcases on like a recycling bin.
Yeah. So I think this is a step up.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, bro, we're healthy, bro.
Yeah, we are good right now.
Honestly, bro. It's okay. We were able to drive over here, bro. Thank you for giving me a ride again. Yeah. I mean, I have my iPad in front of me, bro. Like that's falling into the gratitude for being alive.
Yeah, it's all things, and we are here right now.
Exactly.
Like, maybe I didn't have breakfast, but
it's okay.
I'm still having a podcast.
But I mean, who else is having a podcast right now?
Yeah. And no, I just think it's kind of funny how I just found myself falling into the negative thought loop.
Well, let's dive deep into that. Okay, let's
and I think it's a perfect opportunity to just be like, we're normal people.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I started this podcast because we started this together because we're going through stuff all the time.
So then let's dive deeper into that, bro. Yeah. How about a big concept we can work on is the negative, right? We can do the negative aspects. That's pretty vague, but now we can dive deeper into it.
Yeah. Well, see, something that I think that I need to do more of and would help me avoid negative thought loops like that is journaling. Okay. And just letting it all out on paper.
Okay, that'll be a big one.
Because it's different than texting, like typing it out in your notes app. It's different than just saying it and venting out loud, which is also great. Like if you have a friend to just let your thoughts out.
Yeah, but
like,
a lot of people don't. You know what I mean?
and that's where writing becomes a great outlet. You do it all the time.
Yeah, and you get to expand your vocabulary as well, and your understanding on yourself.
And you just become a more confident speaker. Like I see that in you every time. Like the more you write, the better a speaker you become.
Yes.
And that's something I need to work on. You've done really well there.
Thank you.
And I commend you on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big yapper as well.
Big yapper.
Yeah,
goes home, just can't stop yapping.
Yeah,
has
bro.
to
Literally.
has to put it on paper.
And I mean, I lack as well. I'm human, guys. I don't expect you guys to watch this podcast and just start journaling every single day for an hour a day. A lot of us are busy. A lot of people are working. A lot of people are studying. We completely understand that. You know what I mean?
But even on a day like this, where I might be having like a slow morning, I'm looking at this guy across the table just go and go and go. I'm like, damn, he's pretty good at this. Like, I feel like I need to do some catching up here.
It's okay, bro. Don't worry. That's why.
Or just waking up.
So
It might be the Celsius.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm gonna blame it on the Celsius until we get sponsored.
Yeah. No cap. Yeah. Blame it on Celsius until we have a big banner
Yeah.
behind us saying just buy Celsius. Add code checkpoint, you know?
Yeah. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Hashtag checkpoint, guys. Come on.
Get it going.
Tag Celsius in the comments.
Tag Celsius.
So journaling, and I guess the biggest thing is going to be like why we started journaling, right? Or why. So we can ask that. What is our why, or why? You know, I know how that sounds. It's pretty vague too, but it's like, what is our why to all these different things, right? What is our why to reflecting? I'm going to put that right here.
Yeah. Well, I'd also like to note that
Go ahead.
if I wasn't vulnerable with you right now,
Yeah.
for a second, then I may have just like threw a stick into the whole podcast for like the next hour. You know,
Interesting. Why do you say
because imagine if I kept it to myself and then I just kept thinking about it and I let it boil in my brain, and I just wasn't able to bring a positive vibe for the rest of the podcast because I'm just thinking about this thing, and that's not exclusive to this setting at all. You need to do that in relationships. You got to do that in friendships. You got to do that with your parents.
Okay.
You just have to, like, if there's feelings on your mind that you really feel like are taking over, just get them out.
So like, let's say overthinking thoughts, right?
Yeah,
That's a
overthinking
big
thoughts. And most of the time, if you do have a good friend or partner, they'll tell you like, "Hey, you're good."
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter.
But the problem is like a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? So we can also discuss isolation, isolation or solitude, and or loneliness. Sorry, which we all go through. You know what I mean? We've all gone through our own.
Yeah.
Like we can be around thousands of people, bro, but in our head we can feel genuinely alone. You know what I mean? And so it's really important to break that down. And I've been writing quite a bit now, but because I'm getting the groove now, man. And I think it's really important to also target everybody who's watching, because one, there's a lot of people who are going to be happy to be alive, bro, who appreciate every aspect of what they're living in.
Yeah.
Like when my brothers from the church, they went to Africa, bro, these people are playing soccer with a Coke bottle. And they're having a time of their lives, bro. They don't even have shoes, man. Yeah. And they're thankful. And man, I mean, whenever we're stuck in traffic, bro, whenever my phone's, not fully charged, whenever I haven't ate my 4 meals of the day, when I haven't hit my calorie or protein goal, I'm pretty bummed out. Not devaluing people's situation in any way. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, even in the worst of times, we have to seek to be thankful. We want to seek looking through the darkness to find the light. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Why are we letting all this darkness distract us from literally everything else?
Exactly. My phone's, I mean, bro, like I have clothes, like I'm healthy. Like there's so many different benefits that I live in every single day that I honestly overlook.
Yeah, you can't let inconveniences take over your world.
Exactly. And again, not overlooking what everybody's living, because man, I'm a, what's it called? In one sense, I'm a perfectionist, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to perfect all these different details that they don't require perfecting. And in our own minds, in our own ways, we create our own hell. which is a negative mindset.
Yeah.
We create our own, let's say our own, what's the word? We create our own horror movie, in all honesty. We create our own story within our minds. And whatever that looks like is individual to every single person.
Yeah, everyone's worldview is different.
Exactly.
So everyone's seeing the world a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. And you're viewing hell differently than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some of you are living it. And it's important to definitely seek somebody to talk about those kinds of things. Well, and this is the transition to the next segment as well. But I didn't trust a lot of people to talk about different things, especially things that are like very intimate. Like Batman couldn't beat that shit out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Swear to God. You know what I mean? Batman wouldn't beat that shit out of me, bro. Literally. Like he'd have to kill me, and I wouldn't even get that out. But what I'm saying is like you want to find that comfort. If it's a friend, if it's a family member, it's got to be somebody you trust. And that's why I value therapy so much. Is like this person's legally contracted to not say a thing about the things about the shit that I've gone through, you know? And so that gives me this sense of assurance, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you also got to have that person to combat the negative thoughts. If it's not a friend or a partner, there's got to be someone.
Exactly. And given maybe you're not a Menendez brother that killed your parents, you know, right? You're not one of the brothers. Yeah. And you weren't threatening or having to have your therapist feel threatened by your presence, then you're good. Your therapist isn't going to snitch on you about the murder, right?
Yeah.
But in all other aspects, legally, they're not allowed to speak out about those kinds of things. And so it's definitely important to seek help. And let's start to break down therapy in that sense. Why is that important at all? In any aspect, why is that? Why is therapy as important as we say it is, right? Sorry.
Because you can only let the bad things in for so long before they start to tear down your life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can start enveloping everything that you are, you know?
Yeah. Because it starts with those little inconveniences. And then you get pissed off of the day. Now you're having a bad day. And then all of a sudden you're having a bad week. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to let those out somehow. There's an outlet. Yeah. Someone that can lend an ear, someone to listen to you, to your struggles.
Agreed.
And that's what a lot of people need if they don't have that friend or partner.
Yeah, it's true. And what's it called? If you're not writing shit down, if you're not speaking to somebody about these things, your mind becomes a battlefield, literally. Mm-hmm. It becomes a living hell. It starts to become something that, you know, you start to hate now. Mm-hmm. Like you hate being alone so much because, I mean, let's say it's something minor. Let's say I have a drunk father, for example, and I have an argument with him every time I come home. And I'm not telling anybody about it. But that becomes my normal shit. And anytime I try to talk about it, I get hit. So I become repressive and I don't speak a thing about it. Mm-hmm. And that's somebody's story. And so they're growing up not telling anybody about the shit they're going through, and they're growing up angry. Mm-hmm. And they never learn how to journal. They never know how to write. They never know how to reflect or talk to anybody about the shit that they're going through.
The only way they know how to get that energy out is by lashing out.
Exactly. And so you're continuing to build this up. And then the more you build it up, the more shitty you feel. Yeah. But the last thing you want is for somebody else to carry your burden. Yeah. And so you carry that shit on your own.
And the more shitty you feel, the more shitty things are going to keep happening to you.
Exactly.
Because you notice them more. Mm-hmm. You're more aware of them.
Exactly.
And you're just constantly thinking about it. And then you might be acting or behaving poorly to other people in your life. That's going to put you in an even worse position than you were to begin with.
And it's not your fault because it's all you know. Yeah. I mean, what more do you know? You weren't exposed to a healthy family. You weren't exposed to a healthy lifestyle. You were thrown into the gutter.
You weren't taught how to deal with emotions in the right way.
Exactly. And this is your opportunity. No matter how far gone you may think you are, this is your opportunity, man. Like, even if it's just listening to the podcast, that's great. And we're glad you're here, if that's your story. And you don't have to say anything in the comments. You can just listen, and that'll do. Mm-hmm. But just know that we're here for you, man. And I know, like, you get that from a lot of family members, whatever it may be. Write it out.
Yeah, and write for yourself. It's not writing for anyone else. Exactly. Like no one's gonna read it if you don't show it to them.
Exactly.
But you have to do it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, therapy is available everywhere, man. Especially in the colleges as well. Mm-hmm. There's nothing shameful about it at all. And I mean, that's how I felt. I felt really shameful about it just because, I mean, I come from a closed off, family, you know what I mean? A way of living that repressed everything and bottled everything up and just lashed out.
Turn it into art. Some of the people that have suffered the most are the renowned authors or musical artists, and they have those outlets. That's their form of processing those emotions is by creating. And even by writing in a journal, you're pretty much doing this. It's like almost the exact same thing. You're in art, like you're an artist putting your art down onto this paper with a pen, and those are your emotions that you're physically and visibly letting out. And seeing it all on paper detaches it from your body, and it also gives you a chance to quite literally zoom out and see it from a different perspective. So like if I was like, let's read this from the perspective of someone else. If I saw someone I knew that was going through all of this stuff, I just wrote down what I'm going through. What would I tell this person? How would I react? How would I console them? Or what advice would I give to them to move forward? Like what's the next step here? It's a lot easier to make those decisions when you're in a rough spot or you feel really down, when you have them written out and you're able to see them there clearly.
Agreed.
And you do that all the time. And it works really well. I mean, you're honestly, you're starting to become an artist. You're starting to draw now.
Little by little.
Yeah.
Little by little.
It's like, that's cool. That's sick.
I agree wholeheartedly. And what's it called? I had something off the top of my head I was about to say, but
it's all good. There's no dead space. It'll just get cut. You can literally think for as long as you want.
Oh, there we go. So whenever you write, let's say I wrote last month about a really bad situation I was going through. Let's say something truly traumatizing. A month after, let's say it's blown over and you feel like I made it out, like by the sheer cusp of my tits, you know what I mean? I barely made it out. But you're reading it now and you're like, damn, man, I was in a really bad spot. Because you're reading out of the narrative of a really horrible mindset.
Yeah.
And like, let's say you were in the brink of suicide, for example, and you're writing about it, bro. Let's say you got to the point you're writing letters to your family and you're now reading it. It's like, damn, bro.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20. So as soon as you get out of that mindset and then you're seeing it from a whole different like angle,
you're like, wow, who is this person?
Yeah.
Like, who is that? That was me?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was your normal.
Exactly.
That's what you knew back then.
And some people are right there, you know what I mean? And this isn't us bashing anybody in any way. If you need to talk to somebody, I mean, man, we're here. I mean, our inboxes are free. I mean, we have no problem or issue responding. And if we don't respond at adequate timing, we'll definitely make time.
Yeah. And if you're okay with making some public posts, drop it in the comments too.
Exactly.
We're definitely there.
Exactly. I mean, even if you just say, hey, man, looking for somebody to talk to, people in the comments are actively trying to help. And that's why, I mean, this is my personal plug, but this is why I lean on my faith, man. So why I lean on Christ, because I can't juggle the problems of the world, and I let them overwhelm me. You know what I mean? And that's why, hey, man, I give it to God, bro. Everything. Yeah. Oh, I'm going through hell, bro. I give it to God. Oh, I'm going through a financial struggle. I give it to God, man. Because at the end of the day, all it's going to do whenever I try to reflect on it is going to drive me insane. It's going to ruin my day. It's going to take up so much time. I'm going to procrastinate, doubt, and overthink over just nonsense. I'm going to waste more energy and more time dealing with it.
Yeah, time passes anyway.
Now, I'm not saying to just neglect and stop thinking about shit. No. It's definitely important for you to have a good head on your shoulders and understand the situation you're living through. Yeah. 100%. You have to live in the moment. You have to live in the present and understand what moves you're going to make. Yes. But you have to be guided by something bigger than yourself. That's just me personally, okay? And I lean on my faith because I'm leaning on something greater than me. For at the end of the day, if I woke up today, that means I have a purpose. I have a reason to be. Whatever that may be, God will guide. The Lord will guide. And if I try to put a stamp on, hey, this is why I'm here, I give my understanding of why I'm here, I will be guided in or out of that. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I'm supposed to be a public speaker. I will be guided in or out of that. Whatever it may be, that plan you give to God, and He will guide. And that's why we pray. That's why we build relationships. In the Christian faith and Catholic faith, and Orthodox as well, and all the denominations, that's what we pray.
Yeah, just have faith in the journey.
Exactly.
It's your journey.
Exactly. And you're building a relationship with the person that's walking it with you.
Yeah, be proud of it. Be excited.
Exactly.
So there's so much to do.
Those points that you feel most alone, where you're writing down the most inhumane shit about yourself, who's there guiding you, man? Who's there giving you the health that you need to write it down, giving you the health to have, giving you the opportunity to have whatever it is in front of you to write on.
Yeah.
Like, you're there. You know what I mean? And everybody has different situations. There's always somebody above you, and there's always somebody below you, no matter where you are. There's always somebody better off or worse off.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to live in a position of gratitude.
Yeah.
And also in a position of, I'm thankful for what I have, but I know that I could be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also, I love that you brought that up. I recently saw a really cool quote. Not to get into the new segment just yet. I don't have the quote off the top of my head.
No, you're good.
But there's always going to be a guy above you and below you. So you have to put blinders on. There's no point in looking at the other guy. And they actually do that in horse races.
Yeah.
If you look at them, they got blindfolds right here, so they can't see the other horses. Because as soon as the horse glances at, like, out of the corner of the eye, sees another horse, looks back, it's going to miss a step. And then all of a sudden, it's falling behind. We're not horses, but we can't be distracted by what other people are doing. It's only going to set us back.
Agreed.
Because everyone's doing their own thing. And not only do we not know exactly what they're doing, but we don't know how they got there or if they're even really doing it at all. It could all be fake. So you have to stay focused on what you are doing. Your journey is the only one you should care about.
Agreed.
You are your own main character. And looking at other people's stories is only going to slow yours down.
Agreed.
And take away from it. Comparison is the thief of joy. And now all of a sudden, you're like, damn, I wish I had this, you know?
I mean...
Or I was a little bit further ahead. Like, damn, look at that guy go.
There's people younger than us, bro. They're multimillionaires, bro.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, we're starting a podcast, bro, but we're sure not at multi-million-dollar level.
No. But we have some skills that some of those guys don't have.
Exactly.
Whether it be socially or being able to experience gratitude. Because some of those kids just stumble into it. You know, they don't really know. Like, they don't have a good grasp on reality yet.
Agreed.
They've just kind of been going with the flow, and they come across all this money after, like, working hard or locking in or whatever. But
we're scamming people.
But they still haven't lived a lot of life, and they still have so many lessons to learn and so many ups and downs to go through. And sometimes I kind of feel bad for those kids because their suffering just is different. Like, I don't know for some of them if they're going to be able to ever really appreciate what they have because they got it so young.
Agreed.
That would be a really tough position to be in.
Yeah. Same thing with because I think it's an actual mental health disorder for very privileged kids when they're born and they're given everything. I think there's like an actual term for it, but
Entitled.
Yeah, entitled. Besides that, but it's like an actual like mental health disorder. It's like you never were told no. And so whenever you receive backlash, you don't know how to react.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, that falls back to, the environment that you're grown around, like your past. It's going to reflect your future, you know what I mean? Of course, not to the full extent of it, but...
Yeah, but you and me, we know how to take criticism. And these guys that are millionaires so young, they're on top of shit right now. But they're going to have to be able to take feedback from others. They're going to have to be able to take criticism from people they love.
And to be humble.
And yeah, they're going to have to learn how to be humble and be good for other people. Otherwise, they're just another kid with a bunch of money that no one wants to hang out with because they're just an asshole and never learned how the real world works.
Or hang out with them because they have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like people, how do I say it? Like I hang around Jank and me and him have a relationship because we're genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
very similar goals.
Exactly.
Driven.
And I mean, at the end of the day, that's my homie. You know what I mean? That's my brother, and I love him for the person he is. You know what I mean? and
Yeah, likewise.
I see past the things you see in yourself. You know what I mean? And whether that's negative or positive, I see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've been through a lot together.
Exactly. And we see, hey, even though we may have this opinion over ourselves, whether it be negative or positive, we see through it and we want the best for each other. And we know what we're capable of doing, and vice versa. You may or may not have a family member or a friend that you can relate to, but just know that at the end of the day, if you don't have anybody to lean on or to really, expect the best out of, you have yourself. At the end of the day, for me, you have God. You know?
It's writing, you just journaling, or you could pay for a therapist.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of free therapy. Nonetheless, there is free therapy.
Oh yeah, great options everywhere. Even on campus, I think they might offer some free therapy.
Exactly. And nonetheless, I mean, I think what's that? There's a BetterHelp, on the internet.
The last 2 minutes have just been like a segue to our sponsor.
Yeah, this is our sponsor, BetterHelp, guys. All right.
That would have been so clean.
Yeah.
Just like a 10-minute transition into the sponsor.
That'd be funny. But it's definitely, if we get the opportunity in the future, that would be amazing, because I always push mental health, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're very passionate about it.
And I mean,
you have to be.
Exactly. And I want people to do well, you know what I mean? And sometimes you get on this mental health high because you're doing so well, you want other people to get on it.
Yeah.
But guys, we all go through it, by the way. We all go through it. Like when you get your first experience with God, you get your first experience with therapy, you want everybody to go through it because it was life-changing. It was a new experience.
Yeah.
Slow down, because this is how you reach burnout and this is how you push people away.
Yeah, well, and also there's this young kid that I work with. He's like 18 and super heartbroken, recently kind of experienced his first major heartbreak. And then right next to him was another guy. He's like 24. And he said, bro, I was supposed to be getting married like 2 years ago. Like,
holy shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, but now he has another relationship that he's getting into and he's happy. Like his life is starting to look up again.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, bro.
Like, stop worrying about it. I was literally in a committed relationship and was thinking about getting married like 2 years ago. But now I'm arguably happier than I've ever been in this new relationship that I wasn't even thinking would be a possibility back then when I was going through the mud.
Wow.
That's the perspective that time gives you. Exactly. And it's only going to appear by doing it yourself. That's why it's so universal. Exactly. Everyone's going to go through it.
Yeah, and it's that aspect of, man, you're probably having a shitty day, but at the end of all that shit that you're going through, there's going to be an up.
And that's why you need to find that person to give you that perspective. Because imagine if this 18-year-old kid was like never heard that. And I mean, most don't hear that. Most probably don't care anyway, because it's like, I don't care. I feel hurt right now anyway. Like, this still sucks. Yeah. And it does. Like, it's not to discredit any suffering, but it is really good to get that out there.
Agreed. And because the good thing,
there's always going to be push and pull, but you're going to bounce back. Time heals all.
I agree. And the thing is here, this is a great segment because this is like the concept of relationships, right? And even through family, romantic or actual friendships, like within homies, for example, they're all for a reason, right? So let's say romantic relationships. We all go through, let's say, the love of our lives, right? And it's for a reason. I mean, I met the love of my life at this age, and let's say I lost her. Why did I lose her? What did I learn? What did I go through? I mean, this is why we go through these things and meet people and meet the people that are, either going to have a really good impact in our lives or a negative one. Yeah. That's what we're bound to learn. And so some romantic relationships are literally just to test us, bro. Some people are literally a mirror. Literally. And they hold it up to you and they're like, look, like whatever you see on me is what I see on you. And the truth is, I mean, whatever you hate about me is what you hate about yourself. Yeah. And so that's exactly, you're how to say it? Like for me, in unhealthy relationships, right, during the moment, it sucks and you hate it. Like it's genuinely frustrating. You're like, why the fuck am I going through this? You know what I mean? What is the reason? But then a year passes by and you haven't talked to this person. You're like, holy shit, that's why I went through it. Gosh.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes 10 fucking years for people to realize it. Excuse my language, but it takes that long.
But notice how it always happens. It's like, what are we doing? Like, there's no point in regretting or trying to undo shit that's happened to you.
Exactly.
Because it literally makes you. It makes or breaks you.
Makes or breaks you. And guys, let's say you just got out of a horrendous breakup. I'm sorry. And
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I've been there, man. I've been there. I mean, women or men, whatever your orientation may be or other, whatever, we're all going to experience that. We all are. It's like it's a pinnacle point we all go through, and it's important to go through because one, it's going to build you into the person you need to become, and secondly, I mean, good for you, man. I know how that sounds, but I'm glad you're going. I know how that sounds. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm glad you're going through the shit you're going through. Yeah. Because one, it's going to build you into the person you need to become, and secondly, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot about that person. You're going to learn about yourself. Like for me, I didn't know what gaslighting is. I didn't know what narcissism was. I didn't know what manipulation or hypocrisy was.
I didn't know what horchata was.
Exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. So it's like these are things you're learning, but you're learning to avoid as well. And so after going through, I'm going to give my personal example because that's all I can speak of. But after going through a relatively toxic relationship, you learn what you do want and what you don't want in a relationship. So,
and you're also a lot fucking closer to the person that you're actually going to spend the rest of your life with.
Exactly. And
those people, those are just like stepping stones to the relationship that actually counts. If that wasn't your person, and if it turns out to not have been meant to be, if you guys never end up going back together, it's kind of like sales, not to detract the emotional value or love, but every no is one step closer to a yes. And then all of a sudden you're married, you have kids, you're settling down, you're happy. And then you look back, you're like, damn, why was I ever so affected by this other relationship, you know? And it's because you didn't have all the knowledge you knew now to see how trivial your suffering earlier on was. It only came with time that you were able to recognize what really had happened.
That's true.
Should we move into our new segment?
Yeah, I think we should. I have a perfect quote. Here, let me pull it up. You go ahead, bro. You got it.
Quote of the day. We're going to be offering some quotes to you guys that we found throughout the week or throughout the month. Some quotes that maybe opened our eyes to a personal experience that we recently went through, or maybe something that just resonated deeply, or maybe even just a simple tip that might make going about your day a little bit easier. Just something helpful that we can offer to you guys while we're here and kind of help start the day off on a positive note. I'll probably move this segment to the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
Or some like after the intro maybe, just so we don't
I'm down.
We don't just say hi and then go into depression. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Yeah, it was quite rough to start, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Here, you should start. I'm going to look for mine.
Okay. So for my verse of the day, guys, I'm always, honestly, all of my verses are genuinely just going to be from the Bible. It's just me personally. But my verse, if you guys would like to pull out your Bibles, if you have one, and flip over to Proverbs 24:16. It's chapter 24, verse 16. This is a very known Bible verse. And it says, "For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief." And so what I kind of take away from this is it doesn't matter how many times you fall on your walk, on your journey, in your situation, whatever it may be, how many times you fall with, let's say, this repetitive, I like to view this repetitive addiction or sin, whatever it may be, no matter how many times you fall, the whole point is to get back up. I think you lose yourself whenever you give up entirely giving up. That's whenever you lose yourself, is whenever you know what, I'm done. I'm completely done. And you give up hope on yourself. And that's what it says, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So some people just go through shit and, they keep getting up. But when you fall, and you become complacent with falling, that's when you've completely lost yourself.
Yeah. Then you're going to start to build the habit of giving up.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're really screwed.
Exactly.
As soon as you start giving up on everything.
Yeah, and like let's say you're trying to get out of the comfort of your couch, right? And so you're always every single day bedridden, and you're okay with it. You're complacent with it, but you're not getting anything done. You're complaining about the money. You're complaining about your situation. You're complaining about your health, mentally, physically, whatever it may be, and you're doing nothing about it. And that's why we need to get out of our complacency, get out of our addictions, and continue pushing on, continue pushing towards a purpose. And now this is where I tie it in.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, the reason we go through all these trials and tribulations is to build ourselves into the people we're meant to become. There's a reason for every single trial, always. And it's all to lead us towards a purpose. Now, pay attention, pay close attention, okay? Our purpose, whatever that may be, is individual to you. Our purpose and our addictions or our shortcomings are tied together.
Mm-hmm.
Stay with me now. Lock in, okay?
They're one and the same.
They're one and the same. And I know how that sounds, but like, let's say, I can only speak about myself, but like the reason we continue to struggle with whatever that addiction may be, and like, let's say for me, let's say it's pornography. Very human thing to be dealing with, I'm afraid, in this day of age. And my purpose, for example. How can I tie in the nasty shit that I've struggled with for most of my life, honestly, more than half of my life now, and my purpose? Well, here I am talking about it, giving awareness to how real that shit is. Some people, I mean, Batman could have beat it out of them, you know what I mean? Yeah. But here I am speaking about it and audibly telling you, hey, it's okay. It's okay to be dealing with that. It's normal. It's a human thing. We have to overcome and rise up. Every single time we fall, whether it's 1,000 times, man, keep going.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And connect it to your purpose. Connect it to whatever your individual purpose is. Connect your addiction, your shortcoming to your purpose.
Well, and recognize in the moment that it literally is writing your story.
Mm-hmm.
In the moment, like as we speak, your story is being written.
Exactly.
You could literally just choose your own story based on how you react. Mm-hmm. And my quote kind of ties in back to yours.
Fucking perfect.
I have a good one from James Clear, actually the author of Atomic Habits. Mm-hmm. He has a newsletter, great newsletter.
Oh yeah, I know, bro.
Yeah, really good newsletter.
Drop it.
Short but sweet.
Okay.
Going for a short but sweet one. Not everything blooms in spring. Your season might be autumn. So keep going.
Wow.
Which is true.
My.
Yeah. It's plants. Plants, they're all different. They grow during different times of the year. They live in different climates. Every person is different. They bloom during different times of the year. They're going to have runs where they're locked in for 3 months at different times. People are going to wake up at different times. There's night owls, there's morning people. Everyone's different. So just because you are not where you think you were supposed to be right now, might not be your season, you know? But there's a reason it's happening. But just wait a couple months from now when you've finally been doing all of this growing during this growth period before your flower blooms. It kind of goes back to the sculptor that breaks the rock on the 100th hit or whatever, but it's all the hits before it. Mm-hmm. You have to wait until you bloom at the end of what growth period you're going through. Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So not everything blooms in spring.
Exactly. And roses don't bloom during the winter. Mm-hmm. But once spring comes around, they're the most beautiful thing in the garden.
Yeah, just keep going.
Exactly.
That's the message there.
I love it, man.
Just keep going.
It's true.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're in a shitty environment during whatever season of life that we're going through.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I was having a shitty morning this morning for some reason. Now I'm good. I'm going to keep going. Exactly. We actually, I think this turned out to be a really good podcast.
Yeah, no, this is
and we're going to
great.
Keep going with our day.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And we're going to be kind of, because I consider this like a high, you know what I mean? A healthy high. Mm-hmm. Like we're getting a really good dopamine hit from this, and now
having good conversations.
It's going to carry on to the day, and now it's like, man, I'm already feeling really good about.
Yeah, we feel productive.
Talk. Exactly.
Yeah, our time was extremely well spent.
Agreed. And this is really good because, again, sometimes people feel like they're in the same season every single day.
Yeah.
Every single year. Sometimes they feel like they're in the same season. And that's perfectly normal to feel like that. Perfectly normal. And maybe you are. And sometimes it's out of your control.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. But sometimes you can't even change your environment, but you can change yourself. That's the only thing you have control of is yourself.
Well, actually, let me try to make a crazy analogy real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Some vegetables grow under the ground, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't really see what's going on under the ground from above the ground. And you can't remove the carrot or like whatever other plant from the ground. You can't remove it from its environment. But it's that all the growth that's going on behind the scenes under the ground that you might not even be aware of. The suffering that's creating and forming your soft skills, like maybe communication skills or just ability to deal with hard shit, that's growing underground. And you're not going to see the flower that it yields, or like you're not going to see it bloom because it's all going on behind the scenes. You're still going to have to wait for those soft skills to be called on, those communication skills, the resilience to be called on in order to have an opportunity to bloom. You're not just waiting to bloom. You're always growing. You're always going through a growth period or something's going on behind the scenes. You have to be called on to use the resilience that you've been building in order to prove that you're able to bloom, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Could be just an insane analogy.
No, it is.
But
and it reminds me of another analogy, a double analogy plug, is the bamboo. So bamboo trees, they grow insanely tall, right?
And fast.
They
use them as like torture devices back in the day.
But they don't grow exponentially, how do I say it, once they're planted. They start with their roots and their foundation, man. And they spring and they root so far deep into the soil. And it takes months, years for them to fully be grounded and foundationally structured. But once they're finally ready to bloom and in the right season and in the right environment, boom, they spring up 20, 30 feet almost immediately. A month, 2 months passes by and they're springing up insanely quick.
Yeah.
And sometimes, guys, it feels like you're in the dirt. It feels like you're barely working on digging out the foundation of your soil. But, man, everything that we're going through, everything that we're seeing and experiencing, whatever it may be, it's for a reason. It's to build your foundation. It's to structure yourself.
Yeah. And that saying success doesn't happen overnight, that's not limited to like monetary success. It's literally anything. Any tiny, minuscule problem that you might be trying to solve in your head, it's the same way.
Agreed. And it's important, guys, to structure your foundation on something that'll never fall. You know what I mean? And that's why, for me, I always lean on my faith, and that'll always be my foundation.
And that's why we're doing this podcast as well. It's our foundation, because communication is our foundation for everything.
Exactly.
That's the only difference that humans have. Well, I mean, not only difference, but the main big difference that humans have compared to other animals is that we communicate via speech. No animal is able to do that with at least punctual and
self-consciousness. Like no other animal has the self-consciousness.
Words. They don't have words.
Yeah.
They can communicate.
Yeah.
I don't think they have words.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Unless there's some monkeys that are saying shit.
Yeah, they might. So this guys is our segment and our opportunity to, one, speak out and just put on, write down what's on our mind for this concept. And we've got a lot.
Yeah, maybe we should give them a call to action at the end of the podcast too. Like take 5 minutes. If you've made it this far, take 5 minutes, open a page, grab a paper, or maybe like even a sticky note. Just write right now how you're feeling, like what you want to do the rest of the day, and something you're grateful for.
Something as simple as that.
Yeah, take like 3 minutes.
Yeah, even if it's just 3 words, bro, it'll do.
Yeah.
It's okay. And
all of a sudden you might have a better day.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
And if you want to say something in the comments of of a concept or a topic that you want us to talk about.
Yeah, or if there's something that we kind of skipped over that maybe it might be good for us to talk about more.
Exactly. And again, guys, we established the chapters.
Yeah.
And maybe a few sub-topics within those chapters.
Well, and we're just figuring out what to talk about because it's what we want to talk about.
Exactly.
But obviously so open to taking requests.
Exactly. Yeah,
So-
and like, let's say I wrote down quite a few.
Yeah, we're always looking for things to talk about.
Okay, so I wrote down a few, and this will give the viewers again an opportunity to just see what I listed out and see if there's anything that they want to add on. And so right now, this is what we have for the mental health book, book and then concepts within. This is our table of contents. It's going to be gratitude for being alive, past reflects our future, a negative mindset, journaling, what is our why, and the subtopics I wrote, what is our why to journaling, to reflecting, and seeking help. And therapy, obviously, is pretty obvious. Family, seasons of life, environment, overthinking thoughts, isolation, loneliness, living in faith, perspective, living in the present, social media, and then relationships, romantic, friendship, and family.
Yeah.
And that is what we have right now. Of course, I mean, I'm already thinking about a few different things that we missed, but it's okay. This is a great
But I mean, if
opportunity.
one of those sounds particularly fascinating, then maybe we'll choose that one first.
Yeah.
Just drop it down in the comments.
Like, it's not in a specific list of 1 to 30. You know what I mean? No, it's just whatever.
It's kind of
jumps out
crazy
at us.
if one right now, if one random viewer, it's like it could be any stranger on the internet. They could tell us what to do in the comments, and we'd probably do it.
Yeah.
And
Honestly, bro.
yeah, like they would just
Guaranteed.
have so much power over us.
Yeah, guaranteed. Yeah.
Just like one comment.
You're the Muppeteer. We're the Muppets. I'm not
Yeah,
even
we're
gonna lie.
on strings right now. So
Yeah.
just
To an extent,
no, we're animals in a circus. Just tell us what you want us to do. We'll
Throw money at
we'll
us.
dance.
We'll dance. Not only fan plug, but we'll definitely dance for sure.
Okay. Well, we should leave it on a positive note.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
I was having a rough start for sure.
Yeah. But it ended up really well.
Yeah, I'm actually in a much better mood now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, this went well.
Yeah, and I want to thank the viewers for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around with us. And if
Yeah,
you
thank
made
you
it
for
this
listening.
far, thank you. It's only been an hour, so if you made it this far, thank you guys for sticking around.
Yeah.
We have a lot more topics to definitely dive into in the future, and I'm excited to go through all these different things. And this is just one book. Mental health is one topic that we were both mutually interested in.
Yeah.
And also because we've experienced a lot of similar things, and we're trying to provide some sort of value to the viewer. Of course, we're not professionals. We're not extremely well versed in psychology or any concepts like those, but we have a really good ground in ourselves and what we've gone through. So we hope to continue to provide value for you guys.
Of course. And I am actually taking psychology this summer.
Then
But-
we do. He's
Yeah.
majoring in psychology.
Definitely not.
PhD next semester, actually. He's graduating in 2 years. Yeah. So in 2 years, hopefully, we'll be able to go over this whole book again
Yep.
with his studies.
Yep. Keep notifications on. Be back in 2 years.
Yeah, guys, come on. Lock in. But yeah, guys, it was a pleasure. What are we going to do for the outro? And we're out.
We just get up and walk away.
Just keep looking
On
at
the
the camera.
podcast.
Just
Yeah.
Get up.
No, yeah, I'm actually. Let's just get up and walk away, as if we have somewhere to go.
Yeah. Is mine still recording? Oh, no space on the memory card, bro. I don't even know when that stopped. Are you serious, bro? Yeah, bro.
always something.
Bro, I think that was a great fucking pod. You want to go?